stars and starlings. My name is Belinda Brightbeam, and this is my attic of murmurations. If this is your first time here in the attic, welcome. If this is not your first time in the attic, welcome back. Regardless, I truly hope that the attic gives you everything you're looking for. If you've been here before, you know that I will tell you a secret, and then I will tell you a story. Today's secret is what other people think of you, their expectations of you, their judgments of you. None of those things are your concern, and nor are they truly about your worth. Now, I know what you're thinking. Belinda, I want to go to school or work or to see my family, and I want to get along with everyone. I want to have a nice time. I would settle for a fine time. And to that, I would say, of course you do. Everyone wants to have the best day that they can. But sometimes other people have judgments and expectations and, quite honestly, mean things to say to others because they are experiencing things that they would rather not share or cannot share or simply do not want to deal with the way that their life is. You see, usually those people who are so critical and judgmental of others are doubly as critical and judgmental of themselves. Now, that does not excuse their behaviour, but it is to say that sometimes the way that we feel about ourselves becomes the lens through which we see the rest of the world. This is what we mean when we say perception is reality. And I've often found resemble a more modern crocodile. The skull has a long, thin snout, as you can see here, and is filled with small, sharp, conical teeth. The brain case of the Champsosaurus, which is the skull anatomy that we know of, was very poorly ossified at the front of the skull, also known as the anterior, but it is well ossified in the rear, also known as the posterior, as is similar to other diapsids. The cranial endocast, or the space occupied by the brain, is proportionally narrow in both lateral and dorsoventral axes, with an enlarged pineal body and olfactory bulbs. The optic lobes and flocculi are small in size, indicating only average vision ability at best. Now, the olfactory chambers of the nasal passages and the olfactory stalks of the brain case are reasonably large, indicating that our friend here probably had a very good sense of smell. The semicircular canals of the inner ear are most similar to those of other aquatic reptiles, and it likely had an increased sensitivity to low-frequency sounds and vibrations. Oh goodness. Now, I'm so sorry. I must interrupt because the whole time I've been talking to you, you see, I have been noticing sort of over and over the ghost that is coming out of my teapot. There is a ghost who lives here with me in the attic. Her name is Nadine, and she frequently haunts this teapot. I've not actually seen her elsewhere. She seems to be rather confined to playing a trick on me and pretending to be steam. Nadine is, she is a being that precludes probably me, older than me, possibly even older than the attic. She was here when I arrived. To my knowledge, she is rather happy here for the most part, but I do think that she longs for things from her mortal life. I have learned a few things about Nadine since arriving at the attic, and the most important thing that I know is that she, in her life, was a seamstress. Ghosts should not have the fashion sense that Nadine does. I have thusly made it my mission to find and have the attic possess one of the gowns that Nadine previously made in her life. I'm not sure that it would set her free from her haunting, but in the very least, I think that it would make her happy. You see, this fossil in my hand, as well as Nadine, as are most things in the attic, including myself, strength.